Greetings, programs. Hello, hello. Let's phase out this music. Hi, everyone. Oh, my lights are off. Turn my lights on. There we go. How is everyone today? Manny, how are you?
I'm doing all right. This was a very frustrating pre-show because we're like, start conversation. No, save it for the show.
Exactly. Yeah, this lighting today is super harsh. I look like a villain. There we go. That's a little
I
better.
know. My lighting's so light. I like. Where's my villain lighting? Stealing my bit.
Yeah. All right. There we go. I just needed to check. Audio sounds good. Show looks good. We're beautiful here. This is fantastic. Recruit a cup. We're having a coffee. So before we start, we got to talk about coffee. What are you drinking today, Manny?
I am not a coffee man. I am a tea fiend.
I'll take it.
My points of choice.
I like that. Tea fiend.
Tea fiend, yes. My poison of choice is just a basic orange pico. It's the kind of tea that whenever you go into a restaurant, you ask for tea and you don't stipulate what you're getting, you're usually getting orange pico.
Really? That's an interesting fact. I didn't know that. Yeah. I'm not a tea person. I need to close this. I
had the same thing going where I had the oh man, no, we're not doing that.
That's a little better. There we go. It's I have zebra blinds, so when they're closed, it's like a softbox on the sun.
Okay. For the what you missed that I showed the audience was like I was just like, yeah, maybe if I get the natural light, and so I like opened my blinds and it was just like, oh
yeah, it's the sun. It burns. I wouldn't classify myself as a tea fiend, which is a great term, but I do really like. There's this brand called Celestial, and they have a flavor called Bengal Spice, and it is magical. I will have one of those 1 or 2 times a week in the evening, because it's really good. I'm drinking the McCafe Drip Blend. Pretty boring, but it's reliable. I like reliability.
I don't know. Like the funny thing about the McCafe Dream Blend. Okay, so one, we're both Canadian. So when you say Celestial, it's like, yes, finally somebody who has the same brands as me. The other thing is that I'm gonna go like a little into coffee. This is Recruiter Cup. I worked at a little coffee shop that we have here in Canada called Tim Hortons. And I worked there for like over a decade, about 12 years, where I like started off. It was like one of my first jobs. So I just started off in the store. And then I worked my way through to the regional offices and started like being one of those people who like trained up the different franchisees so that they could start their own little franchise. So when a new coffee shop opened up, yeah, they'd send me over. It was really cool. And like at the time I loved it because it was like we would do training about like, you know, how to like properly train your staff and get that culture going. And that's stuff that they sent us to Disney to learn, like the Disney culture sort of thing. And so like, yeah, free trip to Disney was like, yeah, I'll do that.
It sounds great.
So like, I really love that. But like, that was back when Tim Hortons was like Canadian owned. It's a long time ago, got bought out and then resold and then split off and all of that. And now it's owned by I think it's an Italian company that is one of those companies that extracts value from whatever they buy. And one of the big things that they did was like Tim Hortons coffee was like the one place that McDonald's could not beat. McDonald's is used to going into every country and just becoming number one, and it couldn't do it in Canada up until they screwed up the contract with their coffee supplier, and McDonald's swooped in and bought them out. So when you're drinking McDonald's coffee, you're drinking old Tim's coffee, and that's how I'm bringing that.
I literally talked about this last week with Kevin. I was like, I heard this rumor that McDonald's bought like all the farms that Tim Hortons used to use, but you just confirmed.
They slid in and they scooped up the supplier deal when Tim Hortons was being hardball on their negotiation. So McDonald's was like, we'll pay you, and that was it. Tim Hortons had to go find new coffee.
Yeah, like Tim Hortons coffee tastes like it's filtered through dirty underwear now. It's not good at all. No. I love that that's an actual true story. That's great. And Manny's kind of like Tim Hortons royalty. I didn't realize you were so high up in the company, sir.
No, please. Regional up? No.
That's awesome. I love it. All right, so yeah, I'm drinking old Tim Hortons coffee then.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Manny, we have a lot of things to talk about today, like a ton of things. I want to start with For Azeroth, because that is your podcast, and it is going through some changes today.
Yes.
You want to talk about those?
Oh yeah. So for I guess this is Gen 4 for Azeroth. We have had a number of host changes over the years. And starting today, we are having our new permanent co-host, Lex, who's going to be starting with me, and we're going to be doing that. We're also doing a slight format change. For Azeroth, before was weekly. We're going to be bi-weekly, like every other week, along with like a couple of specials and stuff in between. And part of that is because like we want to sort of like up the quality, have some like good conversations. Part of it's because the game itself has changed. Like we've gone from that big philosophy switch that Blizzard said that they were doing in Shadowlands, and that's been playing out in Dragonflight. And so, whereas For Azeroth has always been about going, deeper behind stuff and like really getting into like nitty gritty. When you're talking about something like Dream Surges, it's kind of what you see is what you get these days. So, I don't need to do the like, oh, first look and what changed and like here's how you like min-max this. It's like just do it for a day and you're done.
Yeah. Turn on RP walk, follow the tree. You're done.
No. No. But part of that is that like it's allowed me to reach out and do some other stuff that is around the game.
Mm-hmm.
So little sneak preview for all of you guys here. Episode after this one, I've actually been talking with a bunch of Blizzard alumni, people in the community, some devs if they would talk to me. And talking about like just communication around the game and how we can like improve talking about the game. So that's great. I got like responses from like about like 20 different people of like, here's a bunch of questions about it. And it was great. So we talked to like theory crafters, we talked to like content creators, we talked to like, again, like developers, past and present, and all of that. And so that's going to be a great little thing that we can put together. But obviously, that's not something that I can like do every week.
Right.
So
yeah,
that is part of the format change.
That's very cool, dude. I'm excited for that. Communication in the game is so key. Neek wants to make sure that I'm still helping with the digs, even if I'm not helping with the super blooms. Don't you worry, Neek. I can slash dance with the best of them. Why why did you, I'm the worst kind of community member. Why did you decide to bring on a full-time co-host? Because you were doing it sort of solo for a bit.
Yeah, I was doing it a bit solo. Part of it is that when you're talking into the void, it's a lot harder to carry on a conversation or, not just get tired of your own voice. And I know, it's me. You would think that I would never get tired of my own voice, but I found my limit. And I just preferred the conversational tone, the back and forth that I had with a co-host. And the other part is that I've been working with Lex for a while now. We have another show going IRL, and Lex has always just had like such great insight and intelligence and everything. And honestly, the reason that I didn't do it sooner is because Lex has been doing other World of Warcraft podcasts, including like Team Divided and such. I first met Lex through her show that she was doing with Shoe Boots and Warcraft Stats, the Big Love Rocket, and like both of those guys are now like working for Blizzard. So just their loss is my gain. I scooped her up, and like it's great because I love the conversation. I love that when you have somebody else and they sort of like ask the question that like maybe either you had assumed was already known or you didn't even think about in the first place, or even just because it helps steer that conversation off to a lot of the further thoughts that we have on stuff, rather than just like bullet points like, oh, this is what I need to cover, and this is what I found interesting. And it's like, okay, but like, how did you arrive at that thought? And I love those kind of conversations, so I wanted that reflected in the show.
Cool. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to it. It's going live today on Twitch. That's right.
Yes. So over on my Twitch, which is twitch.tv/TrueVillainManny, true without the E, and that's at 8 Eastern or 5 PST.
Cool. All right, I'm free then. I should be able to check that out. I'm gonna pop in for sure.
Yeah.
Now I want to get into the nitty gritty. So we had to push the show live 2 minutes early because Manny and I were starting to get into it to have a discussion about podcasting software and platforms that we like and the benefits of them. Now, I, as some of you may know, am a massive convert to RiversideFM. I started using it for season 4 of Recruiter Friend, and I adore it for a lot of reasons. Now, I'm going to go over the reasons that I think it's great that everybody does. So it's local recording. You send a link to your guest. They click the link. That's it. There's no installation required. Local recording on their machine, which is then uploaded to a cloud that you download from for video and audio, and unlimited storage for as long as you have a subscription with them. They do limit 15 hours a month of recordings, so like sessions. But that's I know a lot of places have different caps on how much you can do. So that's the stuff that they all sort of do. What I think Riverside does exceptionally well is their delivery method for editing and for short creation after the fact. Riverside gives you a full transcript of the episode that's done through AI. It also then gives you a summary of the episode, show notes, chapter markers, and key takeaways. And then it on its own will generate clips or YouTube shorts or whatever. You can just hit generate. It goes through. It tries to find points in the broadcast that were interesting. Those aren't always hits. Some of those are big misses. But what I love is you can edit the transcript like a Word doc, and it edits the video. So I can search for a word. So if I throw this in, and I know Manny mentioned Tim Hortons, I can type Tim Hortons in the search. It takes me to all of the instances where we said Tim Hortons, and then I can edit in like a Word doc format, and it kicks out a YouTube clip or YouTube short. And that, to me, that feature is a game changer. I've used all of the shorts you see on Twitch, on Twitter, on the RF from the shows are done using that. It's literally 4 clicks, and it's like 3 minutes to make a short with subtitles and everything. So, all right. Now, Manny, before this, you were talking with Zencastr. Lay it on me. Is Zencastr the exact same?
Zencastr is pretty similar, and there's also other things that are similar. So, like, Zencastr was what I was using for the longest time. It's just like you said, local recordings. So, like, if you are having internet issues, like, it doesn't screw up the entire thing. Separate tracks so that you can make sure that whatever person is speaking is actually heard versus like whatever background noise is happening in other person's thing, and it's great like that. I love that. Podcast.co is where I host for Azeroth, and a lot of the bonus roll shows are actually hosted on podcast.co, and it has like a similar thing where it's like, oh, let me generate that transcript for you. Where you can go through and be like, okay, what was I talking about there? And then find it with the timestamp and all of that. There's a couple of services that do similar. I think that from what you have been saying, Riverside seems to kind of have it all-ish together in one place. I know, I want to say it was Sprout Cast, but it's YouTube, Google's one has those functionalities as well. My big burn was that Zencastr used to do it all for free, and then decided that they needed to start charging. And it's the same sort of thing where it's like, okay, here's all these services, and you can do like 2 hours a month or whatever limitation they want to put up. So I got sort of burned on like I used to be able to do this for free, and I loved your thing, and like that's great. I know that like it takes a little bit more of a workaround, and I think that if you are really trying to push your podcast to a like semi-professional level, you really should make that kind of investment. Riverside or Zencastr, like that, to me it just seems like such a small investment in order to do it. If you're just starting podcasting or anything really, if you're starting to do Twitch, if you're starting to do any kind of content creation, I always suggest that you like fine tune what you do first before you start investing and being like, oh, I'm gonna go get like this or that new like shiny thing and pay for this subscription. Like that's putting the cart before the horse. And so for me, yeah, I've used Audacity, which has been great for adjusting my like audio and everything. I use like Craigbot through Discord, and that's like, if I'm doing an audio podcast, Craigbot is insane. It does great bit rate, because it's each person's connection to Discord. You get separate tracks for each individual person, and their connection is what determines it. Now, I do want to make a big disclaimer here. It is your internet connection to Discord, which is typically great, but like Zencastr, like Riverside, right? Those do local recordings. Yeah. So even if your internet gets really choppy and nobody in the call can hear you, your local recording will still be great. And that is a big benefit of the paid services. So I suggest that too. And if you're not doing like, for Azeroth has had some episodes that maybe stretch on beyond the 2-hour mark at times. As long as you're not doing that sort of thing, you could start on their initial free offer where they do have like some restraints, but it allows you some stuff, and build on that. I wouldn't do any of the video exporting, because as soon as you do that, they're going to put in their watermark and such on that, and there's one thing there, but there are a lot of options there, and I think in terms of getting to that next level, my goodness, yeah, if you want to step up and be at the level that, like Sean, your stuff is so silky smooth and professional.
Thank you.
There you go. You got the convert and the advertisement right there, Riverside FM.
Yeah, I didn't wait until I had honed my craft before spending my money. So I went.
I would say you've been doing podcasting for a bit, even if Recruit a Friend isn't. Yeah, Recruit a Friend isn't even your first podcast.
No, we started in 2014 with Cartridge Club, my brother and I, which is still going. Oh, and I guess I can announce this now. So Cartridge Club is a Game of the Month club for everybody who wants to play. It's been going on since 2014. They're in season 12 right now. No, season 11 right now. And they asked, I was talking to the guys because in 2018 we handed over like the show to people who had been members for a long time, and they wanted to take over. We just didn't have the bandwidth to commit to it anymore. But in June, I'll be coming back to the Cartridge Club to host the Game of the Month for June, which is going to be Warcraft Rumble. So I'm going to have to track down some guests. If you know anybody who plays a lot of Warcraft Rumble, I'll have to track down a couple of guests and see if I can get them to play in June with me and come talk about it for an hour or so.
Oh yeah, I would definitely know like a bunch of people who are playing, and I will get you some people. I myself haven't played. My potato of a phone just doesn't work.
What kind of phone do you have?
Oh, good grief, I don't know. It's some like Android thing. Like I don't use my phone. My phone is like there so that like family can bother me from time to time. Nobody talks to me through phone.
Really? Manny, I am such a phone addict. I am literally addicted to my phone. I'm positive of it. It's beside me right now. I have to be able to touch it. It's like a comfort blanket for me.
I don't know where my phone is right now.
You're just like my wife.
You're like, I should show you. Where the hell is that thing?
That's hilarious. That is hilarious. See, this is a bit like a super busy week for you, though, because you're not just here with us on Recruited Cup for the whole week, Sean and Manny in the morning, but you're also launching the new Faz, and you're the Raider.io spot. Can we announce this? Has this been announced yet?
I mean, it's today, so we'll just say that. We'll just say that, and I'll deal with the consequence afterwards. I'm sorry, Pico.
Yeah.
Love me.
Yeah,
No.
sorry about that. Whoops.
No, I am going to be the featured streamer on Raider.io this week as well. So that's really big. Everything just sort of lined up that way. It was like,
Manny's
I
week.
was trying to get the show back and going, and Lex was dealing with like a move and everything. So it's like, okay, after the move, we'll get that going. So that pushed Faz returning in February. And then you and I were trying to set this up, and it was like, okay, what's the schedule? And then you picked this week, and then this month, of course, Raider.io is featuring a lot of people from the Black community because it is Black History Month, right? And so I am one of their streamers, and this just so happens to be my week, and it just all lined up. And I was saying before the show, I was just like, yeah, it was just like all of a sudden on Sunday, it just sort of came down on me that it's like, it's all here. Your house of cards, your computer's gonna like blow up. I'm gonna pull up the full Kexman where it's just gonna go off in fire in front of me. Waiting for it to go bad. I mean, hard out to Kexman. Rest in peace, his PC.
It's funny. I have a lot going on this week.
Yeah, it's just like, this is all Monday. And it's cool. Like, yeah. And I think that we would get a good amount of people because, like, in the US, it's President's Day.
Mm-hmm.
We got Family Day.
Yeah, it's a big holiday today. It's Manny's Day. Today is officially Manny's Day. We're gonna call it that. Not to be mistaken with Mayonnaise Day, which is a completely different holiday.
Oh, when? I would not even be surprised if it was a Mayonnaise Day. There's a holiday for everything.
There really is. So can you give us like a sneak peek? What do you got coming up for the week for streams? I'm very curious.
Okay, so I decided that I was going to try and one, it's like making sure I get back into streaming properly. So I'm trying to do the streams that I really want to do. So my team has been pushing through Mythic because that just opened up Cross Realm. Definitely going to be streaming in the raids as much as I can. I just got a fairly static team for Mythic Plus, and that's something that I've missed doing. Like, I have been pugging all the way through Dragonflight and the second half of Shadowlands. The first half of Shadowlands and most of the way through BFA, I had a very static team that I ran with, and it was just so much fun to just have some guys that we ran and we got those keys. And at that point, we were only doing KSM. Mm-hmm. We got our KSM and we were happy. Since I've been plugging, I've been pushing higher, getting the Keystone Hero. But these guys, they're definitely, I think, wanting to push for Hero. So I'm enjoying that. I've already got Hero this season, but this is sort of our warm up, make sure that we all flow together.
Right.
The warm up not necessary. We went in and they were like, oh, what key do you want to do? I'm like, listen, guys, let's just start at a 2, see where we slow down. 3 plus the 2, 3 plus the 5, 3 plus the 8, 3 plus the 11. Got to the 14. Said, we kind of ran out of time and just hadn't even hit the flow. Just because they're killers, man. It's I'm not sure if a lot of the audience remembers old Convert to Raid days, but Coltrane is killing it on his Paladin. We've got Shoe Boots from, of course, the Big Love Rock and all of that, and his and their friend Tex, because they also did a wrestling show together. So it's that group plus another friend that we're trying to find a permanent healer, and it's just so much fun to be doing keys with a static group. And I believe you're doing something similar. You're doing the 424 challenge. Is that
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, very similar. So I just before we talk about that, I just want to check: does this static team mean that we shouldn't expect the triumphant arrival of Manny on the EU realms?
um, man, I keep saying that I don't have time for two MMOs, right? And doing WoW twice over is just two MMOs. Uh, you can speak from experience where it's you work your butt off, you get your like let's say like a demon hunter, and you're like you got your vengeance tank, and it's so solid, and then you switch over to EU, it's like I got to do this all over again.
All over
Like,
it.
can't I just?
Yeah, yeah. It's a nightmare. It sucks. I hate it.
Yeah, and I've never been an alt guy. I am not one of those people who like has a bunch of raid ready tunes. I have like my main, and I have a swath of neglected alts that I did for like, oh, I want to make sure I have an undead so I can do the undead quest. I want to make sure that I have like rogue or whatever. Like I've done every single Legion order hall save for the mage, and it might just be the mage. I think I've leveled every other class and done their Legion order hall at this point.
That's a great story, though, right? Like those. I didn't play Legion when it was current. I wish I had because the storylines through the order halls is just so good.
Go back and do it. Like you could be over level and just smash them, and
Yeah.
be and just like enjoy the story because they are fun. I think like obviously when they were like challenging and such, if you really do want to level an alt, like that's the Chromie time that I would suggest so that you get those. But I love the order hall stuff, and considering what we're getting with the War Within, like especially like it'd be a good time
Oh,
to do the
yeah.
priest one for sure.
I might wait for the War Within because everything will be account wide then, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. All right, maybe that's a stretch goal for me to do some of those. Yeah, you mentioned Project 424. So when they came out with the raid ready boost, quote unquote, there was a completely unhinged person on Twitter who had a meltdown and said, I can't remember who it was. So hopefully it wasn't you. I don't think it was though. Who
Yeah.
said, oh, this is ridiculous. Now they're just selling KSM. You can just buy KSM now. Oh, Blizzard, pay to win. And they had their little freak out, and everybody else was like, chill, daddy chill. And me and a couple of my friends, who are all members of the Dungeon Dojo and who are all like they all play the game at a decently high level. We were like, what if this is right? Let's see if we can get KSM with boosted characters. Let's get item level 424. And so two of us, myself and Stanky, boosted characters. So we're wearing the boosted 424 gear. The other three had characters that they leveled and then went and got gear that was only item level 424, nothing higher. And no tier pieces. And we're not allowed to equip any of the upgrades that we get, which I think is dumb on our part because you would be able to equip upgrades. But we said, no, we're going to lock it in at 424. As of today, we are the number one ranked team in the world in the plus 11 to plus 15 bracket on Raider.io. We are 1738, I think, 1783. So we're either 1738 or 1783, one of those numbers. And we only need to get, there's 3 more keys. If we do a plus 15 of any of them and then plus 14 for the other 2, between Waycrest Manor, Darkheart Thicket, and another one. I can't remember which one. Next Saturday, which is we do it on Saturdays, then we'll hit KSM. We'll be at like 2001. We'll have achieved our goal. For me, part of the excitement of the project was I wonder if it's doable. Like, is it possible? As soon as it became clear that it was, and that like on the first week, we timed a 14 on the first week, and we were like, oh yeah, we're definitely able to do this. it lost some of the mystery to me. You know what I mean? It's like the will they, won't they? Now it's like, okay, they will. It's just when will they? But yeah, it's been a lot of fun. I also play on NA. I don't have any healers on NA, where I would offer to be your full-time healer for your Mythic Plus team. My NA characters are tanks and one DPS as well as tanking. But
yeah, there's no way Tex is giving up tank. That man will tank everything. Yeah.
Maybe I could roll up a Resto Shaman on NA. I have so much time.
Man, like I kind of want to learn Resto. There was a thing similar to your 424 where I was thinking, oh, I should take one of my alts. Like I have this warlock that I love and I'm just not raiding with. And I was wondering like, oh, maybe I should like work on that. And I've taken it through LFR. It's above 424 for sure. But like I don't know the rotation or anything. It'd be a learning experience. And I think a lot of the complaint about like, oh, you could just roll up and do it. It's like, well, okay, if you feel that that's pay to win, but the fact that like the carries for gold are totally legal and you can get the token, hasn't pay to win existed for forever? Like, why is this the like point where you say, oh, Blizzard's ruined it? Yeah. I felt like it was an argument that was either completely discounting the fact that like you need some skill and some knowledge to be able to do it, because you've got a team that has done the current keys before in the same season and is just doing it on new characters, right?
Yeah.
And you're dealing with like some very solid people. I believe 3 of, if not more of your guys are involved with mythic level rating or at least heroic.
3 of them do mythic level raid now, and all of us have Keystone Hero on alts, and we're playing roles that we're super comfortable in. I'm tanking on a Paladin, which I'm super comfortable on. Stanky's playing Enhancement Shaman, which he's a CE raider, and I think he might. I don't know if he's title, but he's definitely Keystone Hero, so he's super comfortable on that role. And Molly's healing; she's been healing forever. So it's like everybody's the only person who's playing a class that they had never played before is our Shadow Priest Edvin. And on the first day is when he was like, "I don't know any of this rotation." Yeah.
So wait, you've got a Holy Pally, an Enhancement Shaman,
Resto Shaman, not a Holy Pally. I'm a Prot Pally.
Oh, Prot Pally. Sorry, yeah, Prot Pally, Resto Shaman, Enhanced Shaman, Double Shaman, Shadow Priest, and what's the missing one?
Augmentation Evoker is the last one.
Augvoker. That's got to be Marty.
It is Marty, yeah, and he's quite good at it. So
no.
Marty comes at it with the mentality of a healer, so he's like constantly watching our health bars as well. So he's like he's hitting dispels, he's doing rescues and putting shields on people. It's really like we play really well together. It'll be kind of sad when the challenge is done to split apart, but there's maybe in just because I don't think.
No, why split apart?
Oh, I see what you're saying. I guess there's no real reason. Yeah, we could keep playing together. I was just going to end it. It's Sue's. Yeah, I guess we could just keep playing together. I never thought about that. We're not like, none of us are dying. It's not. Yeah, make a wish.
You've all served your usefulness. Be gone.
Yeah, exactly. Well, my NPCs are done now. I have to.
Yeah, guys, I was really looking for follower dungeons.
Exactly. Oh, dude, follower dungeons. I want to talk about. So we're at 30 minutes. We're going to stop it here, but for tomorrow, I want to talk about follower dungeons. And you touched on it at the end there. Some disingenuous complaints from the community, and I would love to talk about that because there are some sweaty nerds who have some opinions that are opinions.
Okay, all right. I will definitely have thoughts on that, and we'll pick that up tomorrow, here again.
Yeah, that's right. So that's Recruited Cup. That's episode 1 for this week, gang. It's the first one with Sean and Manny. It's a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun. Hopefully Manny did too.
Oh yeah.
Excellent. And if you're watching, hopefully you had fun. Check Manny out tonight live at 8 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/TrueVillainManny, no E. You don't want to miss that. And we will see everybody tomorrow.
Bye-bye.